Hello brains! I'm super excited today. I'm starting to feel comfortable with my new routines, which means it's time to start my new habit. Ukulele? Check. Enthusiasm? Check. Fingers? Check. Yay, new habit! Let's do this! Whoa! Whoa! Where did you come from? The future. Future me? Wow! How far in the future? Cause you look good. About 3 weeks. Oh. Then what's with the silver? Oh, it's laundry day. Oh, yeah, I remember that jacket. Yeah, it was buried in the back of the... Oh! I'm not here to talk about our wardrobe. I'm here to stop a terrible disaster from happening. Cool. Need help? No! What? That's the terrible disaster I came back to stop from happening. Hey, I'm getting better. No, I don't mean you playing the ukulele. I mean you starting a new habit. You're not ready. Just put the ukulele down and trust me. I'm from the future. What happens if I don't? I'll tell you what happens. One strum reminds you ukuleles aren't something you can just pick up and play. You'll need to tune it first, but you can't find your tuner. Eventually you find it in your freezer. Oh, thanks. You start to play it for a bit, but then your fingers hurt. You mean to practice tomorrow. I am gonna practice tomorrow. When? You totally forget. The next time you remember to practice your ukulele, you're in the middle of cooking dinner. You decide to do it anyway. Dinner gets burned, so do your fingers. By the time the bandages come off, you're already discouraged, but you're determined to push through it. You actually sound worse. The next day, you see your ukulele, but you don't pick it up. Why does it matter? You're not getting any better, and you're starting to wonder if you have any musical talent at all. Over the next week, the ukulele haunts you every time you walk past it, asking, "Why, Jessica? Why won't you play me, Jessica?" Until you finally take it out back, turn it into firewood. Really? I may have exaggerated a bit at the end there. What did I say? So, I don't give up on it? Oh, no, you totally do. I have no idea where that ukulele is. Oh. I guess the ukulele really isn't for me. But it could be. How? If you want to create a new habit, create a habit loop. I don't have much time, so you're going to want to write this down. If you want a new habit to stick, first you'll need to figure out when you'll do that habit. Not necessarily what time, but what will cue you that it's time to do it. That cue can be an alarm you set, a visual reminder, another habit you do first. Whatever works for you. But it's helpful if the cue is clear, you won't miss it even if you're in a hurry, and consistent. It's the same cue every time. It's also helpful if the cue happens where you can actually do the thing. A reminder to practice your ukulele at 4 p.m. won't help if you're in traffic at 4 p.m. Yeah, this is why I've started ignoring my alarms. Yeah, same. Yeah. Okay, so my cue to practice my ukulele could be when I sit down on the couch after work. I do that at least 5 days a week. I'll be in a place where I can play, and I'll put my ukulele by the couch as a reminder so I won't forget. Great! What's next? Practicing the ukulele. Really? I'm ready to start? Not quite. First, what does practicing the ukulele mean to you? I pick it up and play? I thought that once. I need to tune it first. Then what? Play! Play what? I hadn't really thought this through, right? Most people tend to think of habits as just one thing, but within each habit is its own little routine. And figuring out what that routine might look like ahead of time means avoiding more of the obstacles that can discourage us along the way, like having no idea what to play. Exactly. So, what are your goals for this habit? I want to write songs for the channel. Great. What kind of songs? Good ones! That have chords? Great! Maybe you can learn a new chord each day. What kind of songs do you think are good? How do you write a song? Oh, do some research. Hang on, you don't need to know everything before you start, otherwise you'd never get started. You can build learning that stuff right into your routine. So now, instead of just practice ukulele, when you sit on the couch after work, you have this handy dandy routine to follow. And you'll know what you need to be able to start it. Like any new routine, you'll probably have to tweak it as you figure out what works best for you. This just gives you a place to start.
This seems like a lot.
You could start smaller then. Maybe just download a chord chart and learn 1 chord per day until you're ready to add more. Done! I feel so prepared! Let's do this! Not yet! I have been very patient. True, but the future of that ukulele, friend or firewood, rests on one final thing. What? Your brain deciding it wants to practice the ukulele again, and again, and again, until it finally becomes a habit. I have no control over what my brain wants to do. Not true. Why do you use a fork every time you eat? It keeps my fingers clean. Why do you write these episodes week after week? I get to learn new things and it feels good to make a difference. Why do you go to the gym? I like tracking my progress, and I get to watch Netflix while I'm on the elliptical. Sometimes I get a smoothie. Right, and that is the final piece in the habit loop, reward. I don't need a reward. Yeah, we tend to tell ourselves that. We don't need rewards. We should just do it because it's important. But the research is clear. The habits that stick are the ones that reward our brains for doing them. Sometimes those rewards are intrinsic. The enjoyment of doing the thing or the satisfaction of getting it done makes you feel good enough that your brain decides, that worked out well. Sign me up again. But a lot of the time, especially for ADHD brains, the intrinsic motivation just isn't strong enough. So sure, you could just keep hitting yourself over the head with a bat labeled, I should just do this. It'll pay off someday. I don't need rewards. But a more helpful solution is to do like your brain do. Reward it for doing the thing. It doesn't have to be a big reward, but it does need to happen quickly enough that your brain associates doing the thing with getting the reward. That's why working out today to get a beach body in 6 months doesn't work. A beach body's not now. Donuts are now. But tracking your progress in your Bujo today or getting a smoothie can work. Unless you don't like tracking. Or hate smoothies. Right. What works is going to be different from person to person and even from habit to habit. But here are a few ideas that might work for practicing.
You have had a lot of time to think about this.
Yep. Remember, it's a process of trial and error, so just experiment until you find the thing that convinces your brain, this is good. I want to do this again. Save. It's my ride. Wait, if I do all these things, does that mean I'll definitely stick to practicing the ukulele this time? I'll let you know. Oh, could you leave that somewhere I could find it? Oh, sure. Does the description of this video work? Perfect. Whoa! That's it for this week. I've also linked to some helpful articles on how to choose cues and rewards in the description below. If you want to learn more, check out The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, where he goes more in depth about the habit loop and also talks about how to exchange bad habits for good ones. Thank you to my brain advocates and all my Patreon brains for making it possible for us to create cool videos like this. If you haven't already, check out our Behind the Brains videos on Patreon to see how this episode was created. If you're ready to create a new habit, comment below with the cue, routine, and reward you'll be trying out so we can encourage you along the way. Like, subscribe, I've heard there's a bell, click all the things, and I will see you next week. Bye, brains. Question time. What happened to the finger person? Did she ever get a name? Yes, she did. If you guys watched the ADHD and dogs video, it was there in plain sight. You just had to look around. Her name is ADHD and the middle name is Haley, which is Icelandic for brain. So she can literally say, my middle name is Brain. And by the way, her nickname is Fidget. So this was the product of a lot of you guys, a lot of different ideas. You know who you are. We'll be reaching out to you shortly as soon as we figure out what the prizes are. Thank you guys for playing.